Would you mind if I told you I loved you tonight? Cause it seems when you're close to me, it's gonna be alright.
Hey guys, this is Kate here again at Michael Blue Studio, Revolver Recordings, sitting with the awesome John West at another great showcase that Michael's putting on with Green Roots, and we had the pleasure of watching you perform tonight. What a great show, and
so
super
much.
Cool sound. How would you describe your sound for those that don't know John?
You haven't heard of my music?
I mean,
no.
honestly, for the couple of you that are watching this right now.
I'd say like my sound is it's sort of like acoustically based, but maybe sort of like, I don't know, like just feel good urban pop, but it's all based on the guitar, and I don't know, there's definitely like as much hip hop influence more so than like R&B or something. Like I love Lauryn Hill or the Fugees, or like
that makes sense now.
Good, sort of neo soul, but also, you know, coming from like, you know, Cat Stevens and Otis Redding. I don't know how.
Cool. I like that. I should mention you have been recently signed to Mercury Island Def Jam. Congratulations, John. So you've crossed over to the other side.
Right. Sort of. I mean, I like to think that, well, you're still hustling very hard. You're still sort of on the ground floor, so to speak, at least, but you are in the building.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
there you go. And that's really hard these days. How did that happen, or you want to share with us maybe how you started and what got you, what led up to it?
Well, I mean, as far as my general sort of story, like, you know, I'm from Louisiana originally, Baton Rouge, and went to college in Chicago, and then made my way further west out to LA. Right, almost 5 years ago. But so ever since I've been here, I've mainly sort of tried to, you know, build a fan base by just, you know, doing a lot of street performing out in Santa Monica, and that's been, you know, a mixed experience, but also a blessing, a place to sort of build your live presentation.
So are you talking about like hanging out on 3rd Street Promenade?
Yeah, every weekend. That's where I've been for several years.
You mean you still do that now?
Yeah, that's the big thing is like, I mean, we worked it in so that we can at least do it, you know, until the record actually drops. But I mean, for me, promotion-wise, like, you know, it's great to get in front of just a lot of people and pass out flyers and you know, get some CDs out there, and it's been great. But I mean, but more recently, I guess, the record deal came about from, I was asked to write like some songs for some other artists.
And how did that come about?
Well, an old friend of mine, George Robertson, who used to work managing me when I first got to LA, works at Interscope, and they had an artist they were looking for some music for. So I wrote a couple songs, but it was a little more off the cuff, where I was like, well, it's for a younger kid, or, you know, who just got signed, like, you know, 14, 15. And I just wrote some songs where I wasn't really taking it as seriously. Or just like almost trying to write like a pop song or something. But it was great because I got some really good feedback about that song. Maybe it, you know, really flipped out on this one song I wrote. But then also we set up some other label meetings around that. Also with some help from a guy over at Warner Chappell Publishing, Brad Aarons, who was like an early believer in what we were doing. Cool. Set up some label meetings. We actually went out to New York to meet with Atlantic Records, a guy who was championing us there. But while we were there, we also met with a couple of the labels, and we met, the last meeting we had, I played probably 10 times in one day, like the same 2 songs.
I've been there.
I'm like, right, okay.
I have.
Yeah, I'm a performer as well.
Yeah,
oh wow, yeah, so you know, it's like the drills.
Oh, heck yeah, I do. You're bringing back memories for me
right
now.
And it's totally like, it's exciting, but simultaneously it's so exhausting. And you're like, man, like I hope something happens today, because I'm out here like, look at me, you know. But the last guy we met with was Dave Massey, over at the president of Mercury, which has been in existence for about 3 years, sort of restarted at the Island Def Jam sort of building. And man, he just got it in such a hard way. And I don't know if it's something about, to some degree, maybe a European perspective on music, where I feel we were trying to convince a lot of label people that we fit into a certain box a little bit, or they didn't get like, well,
or what were they kind of trying to pin you down as?
They're like, is it pop or is it urban? Because it doesn't sound like, you know, it's not 50 Cent, but it's also not, you know, and it's not Jason Mraz, but, you know, but there's all these like, it's this cool. Anyway, Dave Massey didn't really care about that. He was more concerned that like he really enjoyed, I guess, my voice and then the songs we had written. I think these days being a songwriter is the most vital component of being, I think, a successful artist. because you gotta
Amen,
you just gotta, the good thing is you can just work on it every day.
Absolutely.
If you want,
Exactly.
or not, but like you can always get better.
And is that what you do? Do you write every day?
I try,
Yeah.
Sometimes writing might be for me because a lot of my music, which is real rhythmic in nature, so I don't always write on the guitar. But sometimes, what I've been doing recently, sometimes it's just like a new toy you find. So it's a synthesizer. And like that sounds
Yeah,
cool,
right.
and that turns into a song. But for me, more recently, I've been discovering like break beats, like downloading them offline,
Nice.
and just like old funky loops,
Awesome.
and it being like, damn, either that might fit an old song of mine, or maybe that inspires a whole new
Cool.
direction. So I've been doing some new stuff that seems I never would have come in my head through
That's
a guitar.
a really cool way of kind of like even a writer's block helper. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
completely.
Like,
Switch the instrument you're
exactly.
creating on.
Yeah.
One story I love about great musicians being put in awkward positions was, I guess Neil Young, someone told me like in his old band lineups would take great musicians from the area he was in, but he would make them play different instruments. So the great drummer was playing guitar, because they're, and so it took all their creativity, but instead of them just like playing by the numbers, they had to apply it in their ear to, I don't know, it's interesting. So
I love that. That's a good tip, guys. Keep that in mind.
Or just pick up a different guitar, or play it electric, or put an effect on it, or hit the beat without playing anything. I don't know. That's for me. It's been an evolution, I guess.
What's coming up for you, or how can people stay in touch? What's the album?
Oh yeah. So I mean, we just the deal's just about a month old, so we're hoping to have some, like as far as some music out, at least initially a single of some sort. Hopefully like beginning of next year.
Awesome.
In the first couple of months, but in the meantime, you can definitely find me online, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace. The extension on all those is John West Songs. So just John West Songs,
Beautiful.
not related to Trey Songs.
Well, what's coming up for you in the near future here?
Yeah, well, besides, I mean, we're still doing the prom out on the weekends, just so if you want to come out and catch them more.
Check it, guys, if you're in the area, 3rd Street Promenade.
On the weekends, but then in a couple of weeks we're headlining at the Troubadour on October 14th. Sort of like a label coming out show. A lot of the Mercury folks are coming out from New York, and it's gonna be really cool. We got Sarah Hayes opening, who performed tonight. It was so inspiring. In addition to Isaiah Blaze, another cool up and coming guy from San Diego.
Cool.
So it's gonna be a really good night of
Check
music.
that out.
Yeah, real soulful and feel good. So.
Awesome. All right, great. And then after that, are you touring? Are you writing now in the studio?
Yeah, we're focusing on the record, or at least for the next couple of months. That's just sort of the priority. But then, we'll get the other components moving, and hopefully, I'll be on the road to promote something, the first quarter next year or so.
And off to the races you go.
Yeah, we shall see.
We're proud of you, John.
Oh,
You've
thanks
come
so
a long
much.
way. And
Yeah.
Angelique and Davey especially just can't stop singing your praises. And
Yeah.
we just know that you love it so much and write and your little heart out. So thanks, John. And we'll continue to watch your success. And we're excited for you. So, okay, guys, you heard it. John West, check him out. And for now, Kate signing off. Songwriters Vantage. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Would you mind if I told you I loved you just for tonight? Because it seems when you're close to me, it's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright.